Hello, men and brethren. Welcome back to my shop. Today I am working on my little 99 Blazer, and it has some rocker panel cancer, and we're doing a little cancer surgery. So it's really easy to glass something down when it's in the horizontal flat plane. When it's vertical, it's a little bit more challenging. When it wraps around something like a rocker panel, it's challenging indeed. So the way that I do it, which is not the right way or the wrong way, it's just the way I do it, is to lay my glass out on tinfoil. And I'll take my resin, I'm going to impregnate this with resin and squeegee it out good on the tinfoil. And then I'm going to take the whole thing and slap it on there like a big old giant Band-Aid. And then work the air bubbles out with my thumbs and a little bit of plastic. And we'll look at that here in just a minute. First thing, this is just regular old Bondo from the parts house. You know, same as anybody can get Bondo from the parts house fiberglass repair kit. Now, this is matte, and I prefer fabric or mesh, but I couldn't see any of that today. So this is what I'm going to use. Like I said, I prefer the mesh. Matte will work. So I've got 2 ounces of resin in here. Now, according to the instructions, you're supposed to put about 10 drops of hardener to an ounce of resin. It's a little chilly in the shop today. It's about 65 in here. So I'm going to double that up, and it's going to make my pot life a little bit shorter, but it's going to cure up a little harder and a little faster. Now, you don't want to get much more hotter than that, or you run the risk of it cracking or not adhering. So I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed, and I'll cut the camera back on when I'm squeegeeing this out. All right, so we've got our stuff mixed up. Now I mix this, and then I wait about 30 seconds, and then I mix it some more. And I don't know why I do that. Probably because, I don't know, maybe Dad did it that way. I don't know. Whoop, and then I slop some out on my hand. Hey, no comment from the peanut gallery there, son. So we're going to drizzle a little of this out on there. And I am saving a little bitty bit. And unfortunately, I can't give you an exact formula or anything else to say, yep, that's how much resin I use. It just kind of comes with doing a few of them. So the idea here is to get it wet and just about saturated. I mean, we've got plenty on there. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to the truck and I'm going to spin the camera around. Okay, so here's our repair area. Now this was rotted. There was a hole in here as big as my fist in this chunk of rocker right here underneath the B pillar. That's a really common place for these S10s to rot out at. So what I'm going to do here, for the sake of neatness, I'm going to use a chip brush from Harbor Freight. Usually I just kind of goop it on there with a squeegee. But I just really want to wet the surface. I don't want pools of it. I just want to wet the surface where, especially anywhere that looked like it might have had a bubble underneath of it. And now I want the top of my patch panel, or the top of my fiberglass, to come to right about this radius. And I did pre-measure my piece when I cut it, and that should be just about enough so that my fiberglass is going all the way underneath into this pinch rim back here. Now I'm just going to put a piece of plastic over the top of this. And all this is here, all the plastic is on there for, is so that I'm not rubbing directly on the tin foil and poking my finger through it. Because there's some, fairly complicated shapes in here. And we want to just kind of work from the middle to the outside and rub it out, rub out all of the excess resin. There we go. Now I'm going to continue kind of working this off camera, but you get the idea. And in about, say a half an hour or something like that, this will be set enough. You can always check your squeegee and your mixing bucket. When it's maybe not brittle set, but set, kind of a real thick jelly set, then you can pull the tin foil off. And if you're gentle with it, you'll pull that tin foil off in one solid piece, because the tin foil doesn't stick to the resin worth a hoot, especially if you use the shiny side of the tin foil. So that's how I do it, and that's the cleanest, easiest. I've been doing this all morning, and you can see I've got some on my hands, but not a whole bunch. That's the cleanest, easiest, fastest way of doing this that I've discovered when you're having to work upside down on something like a rocker panel. So, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe, comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong. If you've got a better way of doing it, I'd like to know, because frankly, this is a pain in the neck. But it is a cheap, fast, easy repair that doesn't involve welding to cover up and fix rust holes on these old shakeaways. And, you know, this is not a very expensive automobile. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of money fixing it. $100 will, and you're done. You know, and that's Bondo, paint, everything. You're done. So, with all that being said, y'all drive safe.
And watch for deer.
And watch for deer.
And it's going to be 2022 tomorrow.
Yep, it'll be 2022 tomorrow. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But it's not Christmas.